baby, when we kiss, I can feel time passing by. Every time we dance, I can see stars in your eyes. I don't wanna fall, but I'm fragile.
My name is Harvey Dawson, aka WorldofCupid. I'm from Sawbridge Bridge, currently residing in Halifax, West Yorkshire. I'm a musician, solo artist.
I'll rearrange the cracks that lay tracing your palm.
I'm trying to think. This didn't go the way I planned. I feel so stiff and like anxious. I've never done this before. So I started out making music quite young, like 15, 16. That's when I was introduced to it digitally. Other than that, I didn't really know how to access it, how to make it. I was always at the video games constantly and kind of got bored of that, picked up a new hobby, found out I was kind of good with music and took it from there. Starting out, it was just really hard, learning how to mix everything, because everything's digital now. Learning how to mix music, record it even. I mean, my first track was horrendous, I still have the original file. It was awful. But learning all that is just a brainstorm in itself, never mind after when you've done the song, what you've got to do with it, put it out there. It's so much to consider, and I'm so anxious right now. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Okay. The first song that I was quite proud of and that got a bit of the buzz around it was a track I made called "Trapped in My Mind."
Tears in my eyes, nothing inside. I will not love you, I'll leave you behind.
It probably came out maybe a year or two ago, but it was one of the first songs I genuinely really loved, and just the recording process and everything to doing the cover art. I do all my cover arts myself in Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom, and yeah, people really loved that track, and that's when I somewhat knew, like, oh, if I go, I can go further with this.
Here we go again, assigning me the blame. Is she fucking for the fame? Does she even love me? Does she even know my name?
I didn't necessarily grow up with a typical family. It was just me and my mum. And times were hard as it is. My mum didn't have, with the amount of money that music equipment costs, my mum didn't have the financial aid to support what I wanted to do. So I had to just find out alternative routes to fund it, essentially. I didn't really, like I said, I didn't really grow up with much family, but what little family I had, when I was younger, I would always go up to my grandma and granddad's, and my granddad's just so heavy on the drums, like he's been doing his whole life, been in bands since he was my age, and that was the only like musical inspiration, I suppose. He always had me try out a few things here and there, but at the time I just didn't have the eye coordination. But he was always an inspiration, just looking up at him, just do that daily, and look, it just looks so fun. And I don't know what it is, you just somewhat hypnotised when you see someone in your family do that. It just looks magical.
Once upon a time, that's what my father said. Run away from this.
We didn't really speak, to be honest. No. Our relationship was strictly just music. He was always an angry guy. I was always scared to press his buttons or talk to him, but I'd just sit there.
Have you died?
But when it came to actually recording music, I was living at my mum's still at the time. It was so problematic with neighbours trying to record vocals whilst your mum's at home and you're talking about, you know, your feelings and stuff, and I'd always have to wait till she was like out walking the dogs to like get that last vocal take. Whereas now I can set it up and do what I want, essentially. But even just like having it going through the speakers was so problematic. There were times where I'd sleep all day, be up at night to make music, but I can't make music because everyone's asleep. It's loud as fuck.
At the same time, yeah, fuck in the moonlight, wave goodbye.
I signed to this guy called Bal. I met him through just doing studio time. He was just helping out in studio. He said he had pitched an idea to me. I was up for it, and I figured, well, if I'm an independent artist, so I need all the help really I can get. so I figured, why not go for it? Most of it were through email. There were a few things to sign in person, but nothing too limiting. I essentially have full creative control. I can do essentially what I was doing, have been doing. It's all just an extra helping hand, really. There's always networking. Essentially, well, more people you know, the more places you're gonna go. And if you got someone under your wing who knows those contacts, knows those people, you're only gonna go further.
Take a left turn, meet me at the chorus. Hey, yeah, here we go again. Another heartbreak, I've lost my friends.
So a lot of my music's quite personal. I'm somewhat an advocate for mental health. I've had my own battles, even in the past. During high school, I mean, I was on like a lot of drugs and whatnot, vices, and because I was so anxious all the time. When you're in that kind of environment, you're always comparing yourself to other kids and, oh, I want to be like them. I'm not like them, so how do I be like them? If there's anything I can get out of my music, it's that I hope to comfort other people. You know, I've had people in the past tell me, your music's really helped. That means more than anything. I never really had anyone to comfort me or tell me, it's okay, or yeah, this is a normal thing to go through. So if anything, out of the music, that's what I want. Just be there for someone. Just, you're not alone. Like we're all going through the same shit. That was some deep shit, babe. You hear that shit? Speaking real shit, man.